Hey everyone, welcome back to Financial Futures. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, we've got some exciting updates for you on Social Security and two major bills that could bring significant changes to your benefits. For months and even years, we've heard Congress make promises about increasing Social Security benefits, but unfortunately, many of these promises have turned into nothing but empty words. However, it finally looks like we've got some real momentum behind a couple of key pieces of legislation. We're going to break them down for you today, so stay tuned. Alright, let's get into it. The first bill I want to talk about is the Social Security 2100 Act, introduced by Democratic Congressman John Larson. This bill aims to make some significant changes to the Social Security system. Instead of me just explaining it, let's take a quick look at Congressman Larson himself discussing this bill on the floor of Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to address and speak about the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the #1 anti-poverty program for children, and the program that more veterans rely on for disability than the VA. Of course, I'm talking about Social Security. What the public doesn't know, but should, is that Congress hasn't acted to enhance Social Security since 1971. That's 53 years. A lot has transpired and happened over 53 years. And with 10,000 baby boomers a day becoming eligible for Social Security, it's long overdue that Congress acts. We have a proposal. The proposal is called Social Security 2100. And that's exactly what it does. It makes sure that no one can retire into poverty. We have over 5 million Americans who have paid into Social Security and get below poverty level checks. Nobody gets wealthy on Social Security. The average is $18,000 per male, $14,000 per female. And as I said, 5 million of our fellow citizens are getting below poverty level checks on a commitment they made to their government to get the insurance, and that's what we're talking about here, is insurance. Social Security also is one of the most efficient government programs. Its administrative costs are under 1%. There's no other agency that does that and services over 70 million people. I also like to remind my colleagues on the other side of the aisle that Social Security is important because it impacts your district directly. Mr. Speaker, for example, you have 134,536 recipients. 95,000 plus are retirees, 15,000 are disabled, 8,756 are widows, and 9,942 are children. That's not the most critical thing, though. The critical thing is how much money comes into your district on a monthly basis. In California's 23rd, it's $213 million a month. $213 million, and that hasn't been adjusted since 1971. And what do these people do with this money when they get it? They spend it right back in their district, at the local grocery store, at the local pharmacy, to pay for their heating and cooling, to put gas in their automobiles. It therefore is a direct economic development plan for the people in this nation who need it the most. For more than 40% of Americans, Social Security is the only benefit they have. They don't have benefits like the federal government has or like the United States Congress has. All they have is that very simple policy and a commitment from their government that they would make it actuarially sound. And instead, what they get is doubt and fear and the fact that the trust fund will be cut 20% now by 2033 if Congress continues to do nothing. It's long overdue. Why is it, citizens must ask, that Congress can't come together to take care of the very citizens we're sworn to serve on an insurance plan that's the most efficient in government, operating at under 1% administrative costs? You can't find another agency in the private sector, and I hail from an insurance capital. To administer insurance is anywhere from 15 to 26%. In government, they do it for under 1%. Act, Congress.
So as you just heard, this bill would do a lot of things. One of the most important changes is that it would raise benefits across the board by 2%. It would also increase the special minimum benefit to 25% above the federal poverty line. This could mean up to $500 more per month for some people. Plus, it would change the way cost of living adjustments are calculated, switching from the CPIW to the CPIE, which would result in larger increases each year. But that's not all. Another bill, the Social Security Fairness Act, is also gaining traction. This one is aimed at public sector workers, teachers, firefighters, police officers who often receive less than Social Security benefits due to having public pensions. If this bill passes, it would repeal the Windfall Elimination Provision, WP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO, ensuring these workers get the full Social Security benefits they've earned. Now, Congress is currently on recess, but once they return after the November elections, they'll be voting on these bills. The Social Security Fairness Act has strong bipartisan support, which means it has a really good chance of passing, about a 75% chance in my opinion. The Social Security 2100 Act, however, still needs more Republican backing. So what's next? If passed, these bills will move to the Senate, where they need 60 votes to make it to a floor vote. The good news is, the Fairness Act already has a lot of support in both the House and Senate, so it's looking promising for public sector workers. For millions of Americans, Social Security is their lifeline. Over 40% of Americans rely solely on Social Security for their income. If these bills pass, they could bring much-needed relief to millions of retirees, veterans, disabled individuals, and widows across the country. That's all we've got for today. I really hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. It helps the channel and ensures you stay up to date on all the latest Social Security and financial news. I'll keep you updated on any new developments, so make sure to hit that notification bell too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.